All right, let's dive in. Back again for another deep dive. Unpacking today's AI news, and this time we're spelunking into the January 8th edition of AI News. It's, the place to be for all the buzzy AI stuff.
It really is like almost a fire hose of info, right?
Totally. It's like, how do you sift through all this?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So that's why you're here.
Yeah.
To help us make sense of it all. What stood out to you today? What's the big stuff our listeners should be paying attention to?
Well, I think one of the, companies that really dominated the headlines today was NVIDIA.
Oh yeah, NVIDIA, always up to something.
They made a couple of pretty big announcements.
I saw a ton of chatter about their Project Digits. What is that all about?
So basically, it's NVIDIA's attempt to bring kind of like the power of a supercomputer right to your desk. They're calling it a personal AI supercomputer, and the price tag is $3,000.
A supercomputer on your desk for $3,000. That sounds almost too good to be true.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely some, healthy skepticism out there, especially about how it will actually perform with larger models. But the interesting thing is it's powered by their new Grace Blackwell Superchip, which is designed to handle models with up to 200 billion parameters.
So, potentially, people could be fine-tuning those massive language models just at home.
Yeah.
That could be a game changer for researchers, data scientists, even students who don't have access to those big, expensive cloud computing resources.
Absolutely. It could also kind of shake up the market a bit, especially for companies like Apple, who have been, leading the charge in local LLM processing.
And then there was NVIDIA's Cosmos. I saw some mind-blowing stats about that, like 20 million hours of video data used for training.
Yeah, Cosmos is a video world model. It's been trained on an absolutely massive data set of video footage. NVIDIA's vision is to create an AI that can learn and understand real world physics just by observing videos.
So imagine an AI that can predict how objects will move and interact in the real world just like we do. That could have huge implications for things like robotics, autonomous driving, even things like virtual reality.
Exactly. There's been a lot of talk about whether Cosmos is truly open source, though. It doesn't seem to fully meet the criteria of the open source initiative, which sets the standards for what qualifies as open source software.
But I mean, even if it's not officially open source, isn't the fact that the code is available for research and development, I mean, isn't that still a big deal?
I think so. It raises an interesting question, right, about how we define open source in this age of AI, where access to data and models is often more important than access to the underlying code.
That's a good point. It seems like every week there's a new debate about what open source really means in the context of AI. But let's shift gears for a second and talk about LoRa, or low-rank adaptation. I know this fine-tuning technique has been gaining a lot of traction lately.
It has, and for good reason. LoRa offers a way to fine-tune models much more efficiently, which is a big deal when you're working with these massive models that require a ton of computing power.
I saw that the Hugging Face team had some pretty impressive results using LoRa. They managed to significantly improve a Llama model's ability to solve math problems.
They did, and they achieved that using a data set of 160 billion math tokens. That's an incredible amount of data, but the improvement seems to be primarily focused on math tasks. They didn't see similar gains in other areas like instruction following.
So it makes you wonder how broadly applicable LoRa really is for different types of tasks, right? It seems like there's still some kinks to be worked out.
Yeah.
Speaking of kinks, there's been some chatter about issues with tokenizer file sizes after fine-tuning with LoRa.
Yeah, so some folks have been noticing that their tokenizer files get quite large after using LoRa, and there's been some confusion about whether this is, a problem.
So should people be worried if they see their tokenizer files suddenly ballooning in size after using LoRa?
Not necessarily. As long as you're keeping that added tokens.json file intact, those larger files are to be expected. It's important to understand those nuances of these techniques to avoid those unnecessary headaches, down the road.
Speaking of avoiding headaches, are you ready to dive into the sometimes chaotic world of AI-focused Discord servers?
Let's do it. I mean, Discord is where a lot of the cutting-edge AI development is happening, so it's always, a good place to kind of get a pulse on the latest trends and innovations.
What are some of the key themes you're seeing emerge from those communities today? What's got everybody, buzzing?
Well, one thing that's generating a lot of excitement is the concept of function calling. Basically, it's giving LLMs the ability to interact with external tools and APIs.
So instead of just giving you text outputs, an LLM could actually perform actions in the real world based on your instructions.
Exactly. For example, LM Studio just released a new version with beta API support for function calling. You can even use it with vision models now.
Wow. So that opens up a whole new world of possibilities for how we interact with and utilize AI, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about generating text anymore. It's about getting things done.
Absolutely. And it's a trend that's, likely to continue as AI models become more sophisticated and capable.
Another area where we're seeing a lot of activity is in these multi-agent workflows. This is where multiple AI agents work together, kind of like a team, to accomplish complex tasks.
Yeah, it's a fascinating concept. Think about it. Like, instead of having one AI trying to do everything, you have a team of specialized AI agents, each with their own expertise.
So you could have one agent that's really good at research, another one that excels at writing, and another one that's great at editing.
Hmm.
And they all work together to create a final product.
Exactly. NVIDIA actually, they showcased a blueprint for this kind of multi-agent system at CES. They're really leaning into this idea.
It's still early days, but the potential of these multi-agent systems is huge. Of course, with any new technology, there are challenges to overcome.
For sure. Error handling and managing, concurrent tasks efficiently are some of the key challenges developers are working on right now.
And I imagine coordinating and communicating between multiple AI agents can get pretty complex.
It definitely adds a layer of complexity, but the progress being made is really exciting. It feels like we're kind of witnessing the birth of a new era in AI development.
It's definitely a lot to wrap our heads around. Speaking of things that make you think, I saw some concerning news today about potential scams and privacy issues popping up in the AI world.
Unfortunately, as with any emerging technology, there are always those who try to exploit it for their own gain. We need to be aware of these risks and stay vigilant.
There was that supposed AI 21 Labs token that was making the rounds. It was quickly flagged as a potential rug pull scam, and AI 21 Labs even had to publicly disavow it.
Right. It's a good reminder that we need to do our due diligence, research thoroughly before investing in or trusting any AI related project, especially those that involve, financial transactions.
Absolutely. And then there were some payment gateway issues over at OpenRouter.
Yeah.
Apparently their virtual cards were being declined, causing a lot of frustration for users.
Yeah, that sounds like a logistical nightmare. Some folks were even suggesting they switched to crypto payments to avoid these kinds of issues.
It does seem like alternative payment methods are becoming more important in this decentralized world of AI development.
That's a trend worth watching for sure. And then there were those concerns about potential privacy issues over at Perplexity. Some users were reporting seeing targeted ads after making like health-related queries, which is understandably, concerning.
It raises important questions about how AI companies are using and protecting our data. We need to be mindful of what information we're sharing with these systems and carefully review their privacy policies before using them.
Absolutely. Data privacy is a critical issue that we need to be thinking about seriously as AI becomes more integrated into our lives.
It seems like there's never a dull moment in the AI world. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive into the AI news, but there's still more to explore.
Stay tuned for part two, where we'll continue our discussion and delve into some of the bigger questions raised by these developments. And we're back, diving right back into the AI news.
It's crazy how quickly AI is moving from those research labs and tech conferences into our actual lives.
It really is. Every day, it seems like there's some new application or development that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
Yeah, let's go back to NVIDIA for a sec. Their Project Digits, that personal AI supercomputer we were talking about, it really caught my attention.
It's a pretty bold move, I think, by NVIDIA to make, high performance AI hardware accessible to individuals.
Imagine the possibilities if researchers, data scientists, even just hobbyists could experiment with these cutting edge models right from their homes.
Yeah, I mean, it could really democratize access to AI in a way that we haven't seen before, potentially leading to like a wave of innovation from all these unexpected sources.
Totally. And it also highlights this growing trend of moving AI processing from the cloud to the edge.
There are a lot of advantages to local processing, right? Increased privacy, enhanced security, reduced latency, to name a few.
So Project Digits is kind of tapping into a real need in the AI community. I'm curious to see how other hardware manufacturers are gonna respond to this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch the hardware landscape evolve as the demand for powerful local AI processing, continues to grow.
Speaking of evolution, the whole concept of multi-agent systems is fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's a paradigm shift in how we think about AI, right?
Yeah.
Moving from these single monolithic models to teams of specialized agents working together.
It makes sense when you think about how humans collaborate, right? We
Yeah.
each have our strengths and expertise, and we work together to achieve, a common goal.
Yeah, and that same principle can be applied to AI, creating systems that are more efficient, adaptable, and robust.
Imagine like a team of AI agents working together to, I don't know, to write a research paper. One agent like gathers information, another one analyzes the data, another one writes the text, and another one like edits and refines it.
Right, the potential applications for this kind of multi-agent system are huge. We're really just scratching the surface of what's possible.
Of course, with any powerful technology, we need to be mindful of the potential risks and ethical implications of AI.
Oh, absolutely. And one area that requires, careful consideration is the issue of bias in AI systems.
Right. If an AI is trained on biased data, it's inevitably going to produce biased outputs, and that can have like serious consequences, especially when AI is used to make decisions that impact people's lives.
It's crucial that we develop AI systems that are fair, unbiased, and transparent, and that means being very careful about the data we use to train them.
We also need to be aware of the potential for AI to be used for malicious purposes.
I mean, any technology can be used for good or for evil, right?
Yeah.
And AI is no exception.
We've already seen examples of AI being used to create deepfakes, to spread misinformation, and even to develop like autonomous weapons systems.
It's a sobering thought, and it underscores the importance of developing ethical guidelines and regulations for AI development and use.
We need to make sure that AI is used, responsibly and ethically, and that requires open and honest conversations about the potential risks and benefits of this technology.
It's a complex issue, and there are no easy answers, but it's a conversation that we need to be having as a society.
Shifting gears a bit, one thing that really struck me today was the importance of community and collaboration in the AI world.
The AI community is incredibly vibrant and active, with people from all over the world coming together to share ideas, code, and resources.
Yeah, platforms like Discord and GitHub are playing such a crucial role in fostering innovation and knowledge sharing.
It's truly a global effort, and it's moving at such an incredible pace.
So as we wrap up this second part of our deep dive into the AI news, what are your key takeaways?
Well, I'm really struck by the sheer breadth and depth of innovation happening in AI right now, from personal AI supercomputers to multi-agent systems, from function calling to video world models. The progress is astounding.
Yeah, I agree. It's exciting to see how these advancements are starting to like translate into real world applications that are actually impacting our lives in meaningful ways.
But we also need to be mindful of the potential risks and challenges that come with this technology.
We need to be vigilant about scams and privacy breaches.
Mhm.
We need to address the issue of bias in AI systems, and we need to think carefully about the ethical implications of this technology.
It's a complex and evolving landscape, but it's one that we need to navigate thoughtfully and responsibly.
All right, welcome back. Final part of our deep dive into the AI news. It's been quite a ride so far. Cutting edge developments, all these amazing possibilities, and even some things to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely a whirlwind tour of the AI landscape.
So let's take a step back for a sec. Big picture time. What are the key trends that we've seen today? What does this all mean for the future of AI?
But one of the most, I think, striking trends is this idea of the democratization of AI, right? It's like it's shifting from AI being this exclusive thing, just for big tech companies and research institutions to a much more open and accessible landscape.
Right. Like the tools and resources they're becoming more available. Open source software is like exploding, and these online communities are connecting AI enthusiasts from literally all over the world.
Yeah. And it means that more people than ever have the opportunity to learn about AI, to experiment with it, and to actually contribute to its development.
It's kind of like this huge wave of potential innovation, right?
Right.
As new voices and new perspectives enter the field.
Absolutely. And it's not just about access to technology. It's also about this growing integration of AI into like every aspect of our lives.
Right. We're seeing AI-powered applications everywhere. I mean, from our phones and our cars to our homes and even our workplaces.
And as AI technology just keeps advancing, that integration is only going to get, deeper and more impactful.
Which leads to, I think, a pretty crucial question. As AI becomes more powerful and just more present in our lives, how do we make sure that it's used for good?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It's something that we have to be thinking about constantly as we develop and deploy these AI systems.
We've got to be mindful of those risks. We need to
Mhm.
address issues like bias, discrimination, make sure we're protecting privacy, security,
Yeah.
and prevent AI from being used for harmful purposes.
Right. It's a complex challenge. It requires a multi-pronged approach, really.
Right. We need everyone working together on this. Technologists, ethicists, policymakers, the public, everyone.
We need to develop those ethical guidelines and regulations that actually promote responsible AI development.
And just educate the public about AI, right? So that
Okay.
everyone understands both the potential benefits and the risks that come with it.
Totally. I mean, ultimately, the future of AI is in our hands.
It's a future that's filled with, both incredible promise and some potential peril.
And it's a future that we have to shape thoughtfully and deliberately.
Well said. Well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive into the AI news for today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery.
I hope you found it informative, engaging, and something to really think about.
And we encourage you to keep exploring this ever-evolving world of AI.
Yeah. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged.
And remember, the future of AI is what we make it.
Thanks for listening.